Welcome back to the Hardcover Podcast, book lovers. I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Peyton.
And the year is ending rapidly, like way too quickly for comfort.
This is crazy.
Today we are actually giving our 10 books that we want to read before the end of 2025.
Yes, so just a cup of coffee as we dive between these paper sheets. If you've been keeping up with our reading goal this year, it's been a journey. I feel like I've been doing pretty good this year. I only have 7 books left for my reading goal, but I will always talk about my TBR because it is like up to my eyebrows. Picking only 10 was hard. But Aubrey is going to get us started with her first one.
We have Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This book was just released. This is her dip into adult fantasy. I've been slowly working my way through her YA series, and that I'm like 5 years behind. So this one, I'm like, oh my God, is she relevant? I am actually 3 chapters into this book. I don't know what the book fully is going to be about. I'm kind of going in blind and letting the name of Stephanie Garber
Work its magic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do know the main character, she's on this date and she takes this like mythology class and she runs into this like place where she's like, oh, perhaps I want to see if this legend's true. And so she makes her and her date go to this place to find out the time from this mythological creature who will like tell you when you're gonna die. And then it's just the next morning.
And, you're like,
And
okay.
she's like, why is my date not responding to me? But then this guy shows up on her doorstep and is like, hey, there's an inheritance that you need to check out. And I guess her parents were celebrities. And so she's like, oh my God, did they leave me something that I don't know about? But also, am I being scammed because of what happened last night? Question mark. I don't know. But Stephanie Garber does like whimsy, wonky, Alice in Wonderland, but steampunky inspired stories all the time. So I am excited to see what the fuck this is.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that book. It looks cool though.
Oh, the cover, the UK cover is so much prettier though. Like this is this one. And I do feel gypped because I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. The UK cover,
Beautiful.
20 times better.
Maybe I'll be ordering it from Waterstones then.
Yeah.
Well, on the other hand, I have never read Stephanie Garber and I'm way behind. And I am back with like the preteens now because the preteens love this book. Like,
Yeah.
I watch some YouTubers that have kids and they're like, Mom, this is my favorite book ever. And that is Caraval. I've been so busy reading books for this podcast and for my book club. It's like mommy needs some me time. Mommy needs some me time to read some of her books that she wants to read. This dang trilogy. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. And I feel like I'm not getting the time to do it, but it's on there and I feel like I'll be able to read it pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure. It's I think you're gonna have a blast with that one.
Yes, and I've been wanting to read just like a YA fantasy for the longest time. This follows a magical competition, and the way Aubrey describes it is it's Hunger Games-esque, but think like more whimsical, Alice in Wonderland-y, very like campy almost.
Yes, very campy.
And so I love the vibes of this book, and I love the idea of what I believe is the main character is going to save her sister, and then she gets roped into this Caraval, which is a once-a-year performance put on by Legend.
Yes.
This man named Legend. It reminds me of, if anyone's seen Spy Kids, Alan Cummings' character, where like Floop or whatever, and he's like, this is a magical world, and then you get there and he's like trying to kill you. That's what this vibe gives off, and like I'm here for it, and everyone loves it, so like it can't be that bad.
It is very funny listening to you try to describe a book that I've read, because you're
Yeah.
hitting the things, but it's like it's so funny. I think you're gonna love it. It's so whimsical. It's so fun. You're gonna be obsessed. Next up, a book that is also being talked about a ton right now, even though it came out forever ago, but the book 2 just came out, and so like if Caraval has the preteens in their clutches, the Jasad Heir has the romantasy ACOTAR girlies in their clutches, okay? I know very little about this because I don't need to know more. I've seen hot fan art. It's a romantasy. It's Egyptian inspired. and it's enemies to lovers, like, down bad. Now, have I heard that perhaps it's a little, like, I don't know, give me like, romantasy, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a romantasy. Is the world building fleshed out entirely? Or do the characters do cringy stuff to stay enemies? Like, all of that might be true, but it's been so long since I've read a new, like, guilty pleasure romantasy that I'm like, "Yeah, sign me the fuck up."
And we need those every once in a while. We just reviewed
Yes.
Mate, and I was like, "This is such a palate cleanser book," and I needed it. I really needed that book. And so they serve a purpose, even if it's not like a literary masterpiece. Speaking of someone that has put together some literary masterpiece, we have Girl Dinner by Olivia Blake. I have started reading this one, like, off and on. This follows 2 characters. One, Nina, she's a freshman in college, and then the second one is Sloane, who, what I'm understanding, is the wife of a professor at that college. And it follows them kind of getting integrated into this sorority. Sloane, think of her as, like, the house mother, like, the liaison, like,
Yeah.
they need one, and then Nina, obviously a freshman, she wants to rush, she wants to be a part of maybe a bigger group and a sisterhood, if you will, but they as they get drawn deeper into this sisterhood, they realize these, like, very arcane rituals that they have to go through that maybe aren't so, like, maybe come with some costs. I think this is such a good, like, fall read. I think it's a good
Yes.
Halloween read. This video is coming out right after that, but if you still wanna get in your, like, spooky fall season, I think this is gonna be such a fun book. I mean, wanted to, like, a murderous sorority, I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the play on words, girl dinner for a book about cannibals.
Yes. So I like to, and what's hard about, doing a video about books I want to read is I love going in blind. So it's funny that Aubrey said she was going in blind to the arcane of whatever.
Alchemy of Secrets.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Alchemy Secrets. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm like, I don't want to know anything, but that's what Girl Dinner is. I love the cover. Olivia Blake, I love and hate her. The last 2 books I've read of hers, I loved. So we're giving this one a whirl. What's next for you?
I've gotten so many TikTok recommendations, and I feel like Peyton and I shared calendar for the hardcover. I put in all these new releases, and I feel like she's got to look at them and be like, "What's this one?" Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's so many, but I want to read Princess Night by Kate Jacobs, who is on TikTok heavily. And all you need to know
Yes.
is originally it was called Medievally Blonde
Yep.
because this is Legally Blonde, the plot of Legally Blonde transposed into a medieval night setting. Slay hands down.
Yes.
Am I worried about the writing? A little, yeah. But I think again it's going to be campy. I think it's going to be fun and like a part of what I struggle with books is getting into them and getting to that like first 100 pages because I
Yeah.
don't like not knowing the direction the story is going. I really love strong promises of what the plot's going to be right away. And going into it knowing that it's just Legally Blonde, but she's a princess going to night school, yeah. Yeah, I'm hooked.
Yes. I that cover is so fun too.
Yes, I love it. I'm so excited. And I'll let you know if it's any good.
My next one is another one Aubrey
Oh,
has read. It's The Poppy War. I have The Dragon Republic, and I love these
they're
covers.
so
Like,
pretty.
it just feels so nice to hold. This is known as R.F. Kuang's rougher piece of work. This was so popular when I first came to the book scene. Oh my
Mhm.
god, everyone's reading Poppy War. It's been on my TBR for more years than I can imagine. So much that I have the, like, exclusive edition now because it's so popular. But this is a can of worms of a book. I feel like it follows a lot. It examines ambition and the cost of power, I guess. And every time I look at this cover, I think of Mulan because it's an orphan who goes to an elite military academy,
Yep.
but then add, like, fantasy in it with, like,
Yeah.
powers and war, and, like, actual war, not, like, Mulan style war.
No, no, the second half of the book is not cute,
No.
but it's a good painful. You're gonna be crushed. You're gonna want to throw up, and you're gonna have a blast
Yeah,
in a bad way, but a good way.
in a good way. It's a devastating read, which is a beautiful read.
You need a lot of palate cleansers around it.
Yeah, this, like, I'm not jumping into this right now, but I am excited to, and it's, like, a high priority for me. But yeah, the Poppy War, and she's
The Poppy
beautiful,
War.
and we love RF Kuang on this podcast. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay. Throwing it back to the podcast history, actually, with this next one. Peyton and I both want to read The Thief of Night by Miss Holly Black. The Book of Night, which is the first, this is a second book in a duology. Thank God. It's gonna be over.
Thank
In
God.
a pleasant way. It's been a long time coming.
Sorry, not sorry, Holly. It's been too long.
It's been a little too long. Actually, at the very start of this podcast, The Book of Night was the first book that Peyton and I read together to then cover on the podcast. Like, all of our reviews before that were books we had just happened to both have read already. But
Right.
this was book one was the first book that we were like, we're gonna read this one for the podcast together.
Yeah, and it was, like, yeah, we had very mixed reviews on it.
Yeah. I love Holly Black so much. I love the world of Elfhame that she has crafted with her YA and middle grade books. This is her stepping into the adult land, and I think it did good. I just don't think it had the same magic and power that the Cruel Prince trilogy had in it. We deal with our main character Charlie, who like works like a skeevy job, and she does like shadowy stuff. Speaking of shadows, there's shadow magic going on. There's a lot going on in these books. This is book 2.
Yeah, it being placed in the modern day, it kind of throws you out of it for a little bit until you get used to it.
My favorite hack, though, for anyone who wants to know, a lot of times authors will work with an indie bookstore, and you can get their work signed and personalized if you order it through their indie bookstore. So I've gotten a bunch of books personalized that way, including this book. I have my name written by Holly Black, and if I end up not reading this, at least I will have a very special trophy for my shelf.
Yes, since that's, like, your favorite, that's, like, very special. You said throwing it back. I'm gonna throw it all the way back. I have been known to read quite a few classics. I do love
Mhm.
classics. Once again, classics take everything out of me. And
Is this a classic?
by Jane Austen?
I had no idea what this book was. I just kind of I just typed it.
Oh, I was like, yeah, so this is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen.
Oh my
Which is
god, yay, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm seated, I'm seated. You're like, Jane
okay.
Austen? I'm like, I didn't know it was by Jane Austen. I just saw the title.
No. Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's fair. I forgot I didn't put the author there. Yeah, so this is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I'm gonna bring this on vacation with me. I'm so excited to read this one. I'm more of a Bronte sisters kind of girl. Like,
Yes.
Jane Eyre is my shit. Like, you don't understand. Jane Eyre is what got me into reading. So get saying like a classic got you into reading, like that doesn't
That's
happen.
insane, yeah.
But I did not love Pride and Prejudice. Everyone loves Pride and Prejudice. But I think I like the concept of this one, and it's pretty short. Northanger Abbey follows a spirited young woman named Catherine, and Catherine has like a very overactive imagination, and her like favorite thing in the world are gothic novels. Like, she loves gothic novels.
Slay.
And so she goes to this abbey, and while she's there, I mean, it's Jane Austen, so there is a love story, but she finds out that, she's romanticizing like, "Oh, this abbey gothic, like my fantasy no like my novels," like,
Mhm.
but she's realizing like maybe that's not always a good thing. It's kind of like a coming of age story for her. But Austen is great because she's very satirical in her writing, which I really like. But also her writing is very sweet and flowery at the same time. So
Aw.
um I'm hoping this will hit more than Pride and Prejudice. I was gonna read Emma, But people said I would get annoyed with Emma, and I believe it.
Oh,
Since
interesting.
obviously that was the inspiration for Clueless.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was like, maybe not for, like, right now, but this I feel like Catherine and I could really become friends. So I'm excited to jump into this Jane Austen novel, and maybe you will too.
That's so exciting. That's so perfect. I had no idea what that was. I thought it was like a gothic horror novel, like a
Oh.
historical fiction gothic horror novel. There's like one right now that's had like Isabel something, and I
Yeah.
thought it was written by the same author. I had no idea writing it down. But that's so perfect that it lined up because the next book I wanted to talk about was Frankenstein.
Which Mary Shelley is that girl. Like, you don't understand,
Is
like, if you don't know Mary Shelley's story, go look it up. Like, girl is a fucking icon.
She literally lost her virginity on her mother's grave.
Yeah.
She was the first, like, goth punk kid.
And, like, led side the science fiction movement as well. Like, you guys don't like,
Yeah.
it's I love Frankenstein, so yes, lead us.
Frankenstein, I'm very excited. Last month, I read Dracula, and Dracula had such a perfect opening, like 5 chapters, and then after that was not very fun or exciting again until the end. We meandered quite a bit in the middle, and I'm having the opposite experience with Frankenstein right now, which it's so insane to me that this classic hasn't been spoiled for me. Like
Yeah, right?
I know Frankenstein's the doctor, and I know he makes a monster. And that's about it. That's all I really know about the plot of Frankenstein besides what I've seen on like fucking Once Upon a Time. So, I'm so excited to go into this. I have read the first, like, 4 chapters, and I feel like I'm just finally now getting to the good part because it starts with this guy, like, on a boat, and he's, like, talking about his, like, sister, and it's kinda really boring, and then they pick up a castaway,
Yep.
and the castaway's like, "I'm gonna tell you my story," but then we go back in time, and I think we're talking about the for original guy's backstory.
It's confusing.
It's a little like I just, like, wasn't hooked
Yeah.
right away, and I was just like, "I know this is gonna get good," but I finally got to the part where he, like, makes his creation, and, like,
Yep.
now I'm like, "Okay, now I'm seated. Now I'm hooked," and it's, like, literally only, I think, 8 hours long if you listen at 1x, and we know I listen at, like, 2x, 3x, so I'm excited.
I loved Frankenstein, and yeah, I was, like, out of it until Dr. Frankenstein's like, "My creation," and I was like, "Yes,
Yes.
go destroy those villages, monster." Yeah, and it's such a good October read again.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of perfect October reads and not having time, mine is Immortal Dark. I was thinking about bringing by Tigas Garma. I was thinking about bringing this on vacation, but I don't think I am.
No. I don't think that matches the vibe of the vacation you're going on, and you want a little bit of consistency.
Yeah, I'm, like, going between the Jane Austen novel and one coming up. I think it's my last one. But anyways, so Immortal Dark, and Aubrey already read this, so she can add
Yes.
her little twist to it. It's dark academia, which is why I'm not bringing it because I think I'm gonna get bored by it on vacation. I think it's gonna be, like, too, dark academia. Yeah, I need to be kinda more locked in.
It's less dark academia than some of the other books we've read this year.
That's
I
good to
will
know.
say it focused way more on the other part, the vampire part.
Yeah, so it follows an elite heiress
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
who infiltrates her sister's been kidnapped, and she basically, like, infiltrates this university to
Mhm.
find her missing sister, and she suspects it's this vampire, and so she moves in basically with him. She's, like, living with who she thinks is the captor,
Yeah.
um, and, like, it's, like, a little mystery, and it's vampires.
It's so good. Our main character, literally starts with her losing her mind because she's just murdered someone, and the whole book really delves into these ideas of, like, absolution and, like, can a soul be saved? And, like, what is fair, what is right versus wrong. It's so good, and I think because you have a Catholic background, I feel like it's gonna hit a little harder for you.
Like, "Whoa." Yeah.
There's also, like, a sentient house and our vampire by the way, the vampire, picture him hot.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just saying it might help. I pictured him as like a 40-year-old old creepy man,
Yeah.
and it didn't do the story justice. Picture him hot. But my next book up is Eternal Ruin, which is out by the time of this posting, but right now comes out tomorrow. And I'm very excited to pick up back into this series. And I don't know if it's a duology or a trilogy,
That's
but I'm
okay.
excited either way.
Yeah. Alrighty, my next book is even more exciting because we know a girl loves Riley Sager. His newer book, With a Vengeance. This one's fun
Yeah.
because we're from the Philadelphia area and this takes place in Philadelphia on a
Oh, I
train.
didn't know
I
that.
Yeah, so this they like mentioned Delco. If you know, you know. If you
Oh,
don't, that's okay. But
damn.
they mentioned like Delco and like Delco people and like what's good if you know, you know. But it's a train in Philadelphia, and this is the most Agatha Christie sort of like feeling book. Um,
How exciting.
the backstory is in 1942, six people destroyed this woman's life. Like she feels this way. And so 12 years later, she's ready for some vengeance. She's like, I'm going to invite them back to the train where it all happened. And
Oh,
basically, you understand that she's going to basically wrong the people who have wronged her. Like she's
yeah.
out for blood, but they don't know that, and so it gets creepy. But the first night, someone gets murdered and she didn't do it.
Oh,
So now she's trying to track the murderer that it's like
yeah.
that Spider-Man picture. It's like, "Wait, hold on."
Wait a minute. Wait, I was gonna kill people. Why is someone else killing
Yeah.
people now?
So this is so like even this cover, like this is literally the Murder on the Orient Express, a la Philadelphia. So
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
yeah, so it's not like a present day thing. Like it's like set in the 40s. You just have that kind of industrial layer, like the industrial sort
yeah.
of vibe over it with war and all that. So I'm really excited to read this one. I started it months ago and then got sucked into some other things and I had to stop it, but I know it's gonna be such a quick read.
That's so exciting. I bought it back in, like, July or whenever it came out because I was like, "Oh, I know Peyton really loves this one, like, we'll read it for the podcast." And then other things just happened and
Yeah.
it got pushed aside. Oh my god, that's so exciting. For when you return to it, I'll probably pick it up too because I
Yes.
actually need to read, like, 17 books. So, speaking of my, reading goal being very long before the end of the year, and I promised myself that it wouldn't come to this, like last December, if you guys didn't know, Peyton and I went on a binge experience together. We really bonded through fire of trying to complete our reading goals when we
Yes.
both had like 10 books that we needed to read around the month of December. It was insane. We both finished our last book of the year literally like hours before the New
Midnight.
Year's Eve party. Like
Yeah.
it was insane. That all said, I was like, it's not gonna happen to me this year, and it is, and I'm already on my way there, right? So how do we fight against that? We read short books, and
Yes.
this is book that's recently come across my desk, even though book 2 is already out. So I might try to do both. And this is When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. This is our author of Divergent. She wrote adult fantasy. And we
Yes.
didn't read it. Peyton didn't make us read it. I'm blaming you on this one, Peyton.
I don't know if I love Veronica Roth. I just like Divergent.
But I heard that some of the characters are for coded in this.
I'm sad. You will let me know how it goes.
And the first book, When Among Crows, is like a less than 200 pages.
Yeah, I may have to pick that up because I still have 7 and I'm not excited.
Yeah. I think this is going to be such a fun read. All I know about it besides what I just shared, which is basically nothing, its length, is that it deals with Slavic folklore. And so it reminded me when I heard a follow booktuber that I follow talking about it. It reminded me almost of the Vampire Academy series because instead of it's like vampires, but it's Slavic vampires. So it's like the Striga and stuff like that. So it's like more monstrous creatures from what I can tell. I don't know. I don't care because it's 188 pages. So
Yeah.
top of my list, actually, after Frankenstein.
A quick book that also is fun to read.
Sign me up.
So I get to kill two birds with one stone because next book club, our book club, our next book is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I have not been wanting to read this one because she's big. Like, she's a big
She's
book.
big. She
She's a big
is.
book, and I don't do well with multiple POVs. And like, yeah, but book club's reading it, so perfect opportunity. Everyone says, and from what Aubrey says about this book, I agree. I feel like this is like a perfect follow up to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Like,
Yeah.
basically, like, we're like running it back with this, because V.E. Schwab, and what she does best is we time jump. We have 3 characters. Mind you, this is a sapphic vampire story. So, like,
Yeah.
I think that the marketing was toxic lesbian vampires.
Yes.
So that's all I really need to say, but it follows 3 women, one in the 1500s, one in the 1800s, and one, like, present day, like, all around the world, and so we kind of see, like, the story and how these 3 stories weave their way together, kind of like wayward Amelia Hardish, but also very much like V.E. Schwab and what she does best, so I'm excited to read this with people. I think this was gonna be a fun buddy read, also because it's just big. For this time of year, you wanna keep your pages small, as Aubrey just said, and so this is not gonna help, but it'll help with comprehension and reading it over a month.
Spacing it out, I think that's what's really gonna save you is because I love this book and I wish I could have given it 5 stars because in my mind it's 5-star quality, but the beginning, we spent so much time with this one character developing her character, which it was just fun. I love a character story, but when it's 600 pages long, it's like, "No, I get it. I know exactly who this person is. Now you're just repeating things."
Yeah,
But I think breaking it up with book club and having the weekly touch in and being like, "How are we feeling? Like, let's dive into this character." I think that's going to make it way more exciting for you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Speaking of new releases, my jam-packed October calendar that I'm trying to squeeze into November to actually read. The Isle of the Silver Sea is written by Tasha Suri, who is also the author of Jasmine Throne. If you've seen that one, it's this guy. You've probably recognized the cover. I haven't read it, but I do own it. But that's okay because it's another Lady Night story. And I have just been like gnawing at the ends of my enclosure for more Lady Nights after The Night and the Moth.
Oh, yeah.
So already I was hooked. Like Lady Night, I'm in. But it's also a sapphic love story between the Lady Knight and a witch. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know anything else. I don't need to know anything else.
That combo.
So excited.
Well, on the other side of things, I'm going to
It
Hawaii this.
sounded so sad.
Well, because, like, we are doing, like, such a mix-up, like, I'm about to
Yeah.
add in the most flirty novel you've, like, can imagine, and the reason there's 2 reasons why. My vacation's to Hawaii, and so as much as I
Yeah.
wanna bring Immortal Dark, like, I'm probably not, that's probably not the best idea, but so, like, but we're going over Halloween, so it's like, wait, I'm, like, so conflicted. The second thing is I have read every Emily Henry book except for Beach Read. And girl is short, very, very short. I haven't read this one yet. I am on like chapter 3 of it now. Um, this follows January, and basically she doesn't believe in love anymore, and she's like she hates everything, and she goes to this beach house, and there's this grumpy sunshine character. He's author, also a writer, and they switch genres for the summer, and then there's this whole mystery plot line with it. Everyone on the earth has already read this book, so I don't need to go into more
Yeah.
detail. I know that January is a self-insert character for Emily, which is really fun to read. I think it's very near and dear to her heart. So
Yeah.
I think, I mean, everything Emily writes is like witty, and there's always an element of like grief sometimes in there, but it's very heartfelt and second chances. So I think this will be a good Maui read. But
It'll be so good.
so from dark vampires to love.
Love. Okay. I feel like a lot of my books that have been on my list have been new releases, and for that, like, slay, right? Like, that's exactly where I wanna be. I wanna be reading all of the, like, latest and the greatest. However, I have been haunted, and I
Yeah,
have been
you have.
haunted
You have,
by
girl. Girl,
Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare.
we have talked about this book way too much. Like, Aubrey brings this up, like, yearly, like, "I gotta finish this book."
Here's the story,
So
guys.
much that I will never pick up this book based on how long it's taken her to get into it.
But so this book came out. I was so excited. I was on the front lines talking about how excited I was for this. This is Cassandra Clare's dip into adult fantasy, like I've said for like 3 other authors in this series. Holly Black, Stephanie Garber, Cassandra Clare, YA queens who have tried adult fantasy.
Yeah.
And it came out the same week or like the week before Iron Flame.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I had a different book to read. I had to read Iron Flame, and I had to read it as quick as I could because otherwise it was gonna be spoiled for me. And then
Yep.
that book wasn't even good. And so now I have been putting this godforsaken book on my TBR every month. Every month it shows up, every video that we've fucking made since 2022. I put it on here. And then in the spring, the second book came out, Ragpicker King, and all of a sudden, the hottest fan art is being dropped of this series. Taylor, my friend from book club, is telling me, no, the romance in the second book is literally to die for.
Yeah,
It's so
she
good.
did
You
say
need
that.
to read it. So now I got Taylor at my ass saying,
Yeah.
when are you gonna read it? When are you gonna read it?
Yep.
But I got all these new releases. And so I'm struggling
No, you can't
and
keep up
I
with the bills. The bills are piling.
and I cannot go into 2026 without reading this book.
You need to.
I can't do another year of saying I'm going to read it and then not. Like it's been 3 years. I need to lock in because once I get into it, I'm going to love it. The first 2 chapters, which is all I've read, were amazing. I put it down because I had other shit to read, not because I didn't like it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to shut up about it as soon as I read it.
Yeah, like, we're ADHD readers, like, we'll be like, "Yeah, we're gonna read that book," and then we're like, "Frankenstein!"
And then I was like, okay, I know this has been on my TBR for forever, but what if I start reading a classic every month?
Yeah, I know, right? But, like, I'm with you. I am so with you. Alright, we are wrapping up our last book together.
Yes.
This is book 2, first one, Quicksilver, and we are talking, of course, about Brimstone, which comes out
Woo!
soon.
Yeah, this month.
So this is the follow-up to Quicksilver, which was not traditionally published.
No, but this is.
But this is. So I'm curious. Like I am going in with a curious mind as to what this writing is really going to look like. This is your classic romantasy story that you like
Yeah.
the girls just eat up, right? But
Mhm.
I'm really interested in the editing, the overall craft of writing going into this second book. And that's really what I'm excited about. I understand the story is going to be the romantasy story that, we all know
Mhm.
and love dearly. But I'm really excited to see how Callie Hart's writing evolved from book 1, which was way too long and a little drawn out, to this one. So I'm really excited. We have reviewed Quicksilver before, so
Yes.
if you're starting there, you can go watch that video. We will be reviewing Brimstone as well.
I have 2 hopes. My first hope is I had to skim Quicksilver, and I've never had to skim a book before because it was so overwritten. So my hope is that with an editor, no skimming. And 2, I really want, and it's so bad because I can't think of his name, the side
Carrying,
character. Yes, I want a Carrion Swift POV.
I know
I
I
want
love
Carrion
Carrying.
Swift's romance because our main character gets with a love interest at the end of book 1. And I know that she's got ways to bring back intention, but, like, a Carrion POV.
He deserves, like,
Yeah,
justice for Carrion, like, we love
yeah.
him. He's such a fun if it's that's what's gonna save this series is bringing in that, like, satirical element that he brings, and
Mhm.
maybe also some, like, love interests or something like that, like,
Or, like, 5. I mean, he's a
I
force.
know, like, orgy question mark? So anyways, that wraps up our 10 more to the end.
Ugh.
We are on our final stretch. I just said to my husband yesterday in the car, I go, "It was just summer, and it's the end of October, like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, what actually the F is going on?" I'm sure we all feel this way, and every year, we all feel the same again and again,
Mhm.
like, we didn't last year. So if you're there with us, please like and subscribe, stay around, and you can watch our journey finishing off these books.
Thank you so much for joining us, and happy reading.